Hey, welcome everyone. This is Mike from zozostockwatch.com, and this is going to be your Let's Get Ready for the Week Ahead and Stock Watch video combined for this video. This will be the Let's Get Ready for the Week Ahead, September 16th through September 20th. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Let's look at some of the news that came out after the bell on Friday after the market closed. We had AIMT. FDA committee votes 7-2 in favor of its peanut allergy treatment. So AIMT was up, gapping up on Friday, up about $4 after the bell, after they reopened it. It was halted all day on Friday, and now trading in the after hours up there at $28.80 on AIMT. Disney CEO Bob Iger resigns from the board of directors of Apple. We did get some top insider purchases. We had Ollie's. The director purchased 2,000 shares at $64.66. HBIO director purchased over 334,000 shares on that one at $305. You can read the rest there. Just pause the video. As far as some of the news that came out also after the bell, we had XBIO filed a Form S3 on that one, so a dilution there on that name. We got Iran news out over the weekend. I'll show you more on that. Let's see. Saudi Arabia, Aramco has told refinery there will be no immediate impact on oil supplies as it will deliver crude. But the issue here was that U.S. blames Iran for the attack on the Saudi oil facilities. This happening over the weekend. Let's see. Saudi Arabia says 50% of the output halted on Aramco attacks. So this was coming over the weekend. I'll show you the articles and more of that in a moment. U.S. stands ready to tap emergency oil reserves after Saudi attack from Iran. And then General Motors, there is a possible strike with the UAW members, that coming out over the weekend. S&P Global, Platts, they are watching oil, forecast a $5 to $10 barrel spike in Brent oil prices because of the attacks on Saudi Arabia oil fields. So let's go ahead and get into some of our normal routine here. Just wanted to get that news out. Let's see. So basically for the week, the markets were up because the stock futures were moving up and the markets were moving up as Trump delayed China tariffs. Trump is open to considering an interim deal with China. So their meeting is supposed to be being held in October. So some of the tensions eased as Trump blinking a little bit, China blinking a little bit, and that got our markets moving up. As far as the Saudi news, a Saudi attack on their oil field by Iran, a game changer in the Gulf confrontation. So this will be weighing on the markets on the Sunday night futures. We also had oil may jump as much as $10 a barrel after the Saudi Arabia attack from Iran. Seeing articles like this from the New York Post, economy teetering on the edge of recession as rates fall, analysts warn. So some of these type of headlines are still out there. So some other walls of worry that the markets have to climb. We have the U.S. trade and China trade war has set in motion an unstoppable global economic transformation. So these are some more articles coming out over the weekend. As far as earnings for the week, we get Rena Solo will be reporting before the bell on Monday. SOL is the symbol there. We get Crate and Barrel reporting Tuesday before the open. This courtesy of Earnings Whisper, Adobe, FedEx, and Chewy after the bell. CHWY, recent IPO, the symbol there, CHWY on Chewy, FedEx, Adobe after the bell Tuesday. Then we get General Mills, GIS before the bell. We also have Darden reporting Thursday before the open, and then we have Steelcase, and no earnings before the bell. The big thing this week, though, also besides the tensions now with Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United States, we also have our FOMC meeting beginning this calendar courtesy of the Trade Exchange. I'll put this down in the comments below in that section, the link for it if you want to follow along. And then you can also see all the companies. If you click on the green, you can get a drop-down menu of all the companies reporting for each and every day. Just click on the green there. But we get the FOMC meeting begins on Tuesday the 17th, but the big day comes on Wednesday when they announce Wall Street is expecting a 25 basis point rate cut, and then at 2:30 we get Jerome Powell. He'll be fielding questions at the presser, and that starts at 2:30. So that's now after every Fed FOMC meeting now, where you get that 2:30 presser. So there'll be that initial reaction to the interest rate release, and then we'll have to wait and see what he says at the press conference. As far as Friday itself, kind of a mixed day, an inside day on Friday the 13th. It was a slow kind of inside day. But momentum names were rolling lower, and I'll show you that in a moment. But the Dow Jones itself down up 37 points on the Dow Jones 30. The Dow Jones transports were up plus 100. You would have to think that that's going to get reversed with oil popping on the Sunday night and as the market opens up. But anyway, the transports were up plus 100. The NASDAQ, the tech stocks were down on Friday, fractionally minus 18. And the S&P 500 were minus 2. As you see this heat map, courtesy of FinViz, the banks were bouncing on Friday. Nice moves up here in JP Morgan, Bank America, Citigroup up almost 2%, Wells Fargo jumping 0.5%, and then you could see Amazon was down fractionally, Facebook down fractionally. Let's see, we had AT&T and Verizon down. Oil stocks were moving up a little bit on Friday. We had ExxonMobil, ConocoPhillips jumping almost 2% on the day there on that name. Apple was down 1.94%. Philip Morris and Altria Group continued to take hits on the vapor issues going on there with the flavored vapors, and so those stocks are right now. We have PM down 2.47%. Altria Group down almost 6% on the day on Friday. So that's your heat map. We had UNH Healthcare that was up 1.52% for the day. As far as some of your top gainers for the day on Friday, FCSC, this was a takeout name on that name. BCYC, I believe, was an upgrade. MCF was popping on Friday. FRAN with a continuation move there, up big this week. DRAD, insider purchase there, moving that stock up. MNK was popping. Cars was getting up 9.5% on the day. Some of the top losers for Friday are TTR, LL, PGR, HMY, LAD, CBOE. Down. Those are some of your top losers. Once again, courtesy of the Trade Exchange, their market wrap newsletter. So with the Saudi attack from Iran, we'll have to keep an eye on oil and also the ETF for oil this week. Right now, we've had resistance on the USO at 1250. I'm sure we're going to gap up way above that on Monday. Oil itself, XOIL, that has been below 60 for the longest time. So we'll be watching that. We've been holding this $50 area on XOIL. We'll have to see where oil opens up on Monday, but we have that $60 level up ahead, and then after that, $65. You can see where my yellow line is on the daily chart. So we'll be watching also banks for further continuation. Bank America, big move up last week, up over 8-9% for the week. JP Morgan was climbing last week, up almost 7% on the week. But that's what the Fed set to cut rates probably this coming week. So we'll see. The FOMC, we went over that. Let's see. We have some earnings coming out this week. So that's pretty much our week ahead. As far as some of the stocks that had news this week that made some moves, you had that AIMT that I spoke about for the week. It was up almost 20% on AIMT. The FDA voted in favor of used for peanut allergies on this name. MNK made a nice move this week. A lot of work to do on the weekly chart here, but MNK for the week was up 76%. It put a rest to the reports of potential bankruptcy on MNK. Alcoa was jumping this week, up 20%. CENX, also an aluminum company, up 24% this week. LXRX, another biotech, termination of alliance with Sanofi, got this one moving up. A beaten down weekly chart there, up 70% though for the week. BCYC, this stock jumping 44% for the week. Goldman Sachs upgraded this to a buy. Price target $14 on the name for BCYC. AKS was jumping this week, up 23% this week. US Steel up 15% this week. CLF also climbing this week, up 17% on this name. FCX had a very good week, up 14%. So keep an eye on some of these for next week. I'll give you more specifics of stocks I'm watching. I'm just going through some of the winners and losers for the past week. STLD, this stock was climbing up 15.5%. Another steel stock, NUE, also climbing 7% for the week. ACAD, the phase 3 met the primary endpoint, so I'll be watching this one for a continuation, up 70% for the week. Phase 3 met primary endpoints on that name. ANF was climbing this week. A lot of work to do on the weekly chart there, up 21% on the week. GPS, Gap Stores up 14%. Urban also climbing this week, up 12% for the week. Let's see, FCSC had a big move this week. This stock jumping 59% as it was taken out, acquired on that name. Mosaic in the ag space was moving up 16% for the week. I really didn't see any other ag names moving up. NTR, the old potash, moving up fractionally. CF Industries, this was up about 3% for the week. Another ag name here on CF, but MOS was the big winner in the ag space this past week. AVEO upgraded to a buy at H.C. Wainwright, a under $1 name. Price target $1.75 on this name. Citigroup was jumping this week, up 7% as mentioned. Zion, a regional bank, also jumping this week, up 9% this week. ARDX, they got FDA approval on ARDX. This stock was jumping 9% for the week. ARDX could just be getting started here. I'll keep my eye on this one. I think it's part of my watch list for next week. We'll go over that in a few minutes. SPRO. This was a buy on SPRO, up 20%. A buy rating on this name from Janney. A price target $27 on this name. So up had a good week. That one is getting above the weekly moving averages here, just below that $13, $12 area. So that'll be on watch. Some of your worst stocks for the week that passed. Look at the Zscaler. A lot of these software names took big hits. This was down 26% for the week after their earnings. Big damage done there. Might be wanting to watch some of these for bounces. You had Roku, another high flyer, down 13% this week. CRWD. Look at the damage in this stock, software application stock, down 15% this week, just almost back down to $60 here on CRWD. TWLO, Twilio down 11%. Shopify, a recent high flyer, pulling back here. This thing, I've talked about it on previous videos. This thing was getting way stretched here. Too many hands jumping into this name, coming up to that 400 area. They popped it up over that. Now all the late buyers of this are taking a hit. Its stock was down 11% for the week. TWLO, Twilio down 11%. AVLR got crushed this week, down 11%. Okta in the software space, the stock down 16% on this name. Some other stocks, you had Taka, biotech name, down 67%. Their phase 3 missed endpoints on this name. Twitter got pulled back this week, down 6% this week. NTRP, phase 2 did not meet the primary endpoints for NTRP. Stock dropping 80% this week. APLS came out with an offering this week. This stock dropping 16%. Some of the golds were taking a hit this week, a pullback after their big runs. AU was moving down 10% this week. AUY also dropping 6%. KL, Canadian, a gold stock down 11% this week. PAAS also pulling back from the recent highs. Could never get up over that $20 area. This stock dropping almost 9% for the week. SBUX, some wind coming out of the sales here. Folks chasing this one up, came up to that $100 area. There's your pullback in Starbucks, down 6% for the week on that name. ADVM, phase 1 data was released on ADVM. Not good enough there, down 52% for the week. RTTR, as mentioned earlier in the video, this stock dropping 73%. Phase 3 failed to demonstrate statistical significance in RTTR on their phase 3. Stock dropping 72. CPRX, are they doing an offering? Are they not doing an offering? They came out, said they were doing an offering, but then they decided not to do the offering. So the stock for the week was down 6% on CPRX. So that's some of your worst stocks for the week that passed. All right, so let's go ahead and get into that watch list for the week. I don't want to keep you too long in the video. So AMD will always, we always watch AMD every week. AMD holding above $30, the big battle here at the 100 SMA. So I'll be watching AMD for intraday setup, also for swing trades. Would like it for a swing trade to get up over this congestion here over 32, but I'll be watching it for intraday plays also. Keeps bouncing off that $30 area. AVEO, we'll have this one on watch. AVEO, this one has had news last week, that upgrade. Let's see if they can pierce that 200 SMA on AVEO. That is at 99 cents. So let it break that dollar. Maybe we get a continuation move. Here's the intraday chart of AVEO. BLNK was getting some buying on Friday, about 382,000 shares came into BLNK. Maybe with this oil crisis, maybe you get names like Tesla, moving up on Monday. So Tesla will be on watch. BLNK does charging stations, so this one will be on watch also. Keep an eye on some of these solar names. If they want to pop, look at First Solar battling at that $64 level. Possible swing trade in this name. If oil starts moving up on Monday, you could see pops in these solars. CSIQ has been beaten down. Maybe it reverses up. JKS, just some ideas for some solar names there. Now, also, we have threats of war now between United States and Iran, so we'll have to have TVIX on watch for Monday and next week. Throughout the week, let's see how this market, how the futures do overnight. Some other stocks I'll be watching. Out of the cannabis names right now, CGC has been holding up the best. That's not saying much. A lot of the cannabis names have just been getting killed after ACB had their earnings come out. ACB was down after their earnings. APHA, nothing much going on here. Let's check VFF. So that one is holding up okay, but I'll be watching CGC to see if this one has any further momentum for next week. We'll have this DRAD on watch. Look at this big volume that came into the name on that insider purchase on DRAD. Check your news on that one. DTEA was popping on Friday. 1.4 million shares on David's Tea over in the cannabis space. Big pop up. I didn't see much action in NBEV though on Friday. It was DTEA. So this one was popping. So I'll have this one on watch. I like that volume that came in. Obviously would like a little bit of a pullback. It's battling around that $2 area. FRAN. Look at this thing basing below 20 bucks. Let's check it in the after hours on Friday. Moved up to $19 on Friday. So if they can get this thing maybe back over 18 and a quarter, maybe you get that push through 19. But definitely one, it's had a big run up, 273% for the week. Obviously, we want some pullback in here on FRAN, but shorts look like they're running for the hills. So have that on watch. IDEX, got 1.2 million shares on Friday. It's a crypto software application stock. It's been battling this 150, kind of a sleeper stock, but I'll have it on watch. I saw it trying to pop up over the 200 SMA, so worth keeping on a chart. Bigger name, IGT, finally getting up over that 200 SMA. It's a declining 200 SMA. If they can push this up over $15, you might get a nice move up there. It's a gambling sector stock, so keep that on watch. IMMU popping up, a biotech stock, volume 2.4 million on Friday, has that $17 area up ahead. The high on Friday on this name was 1688, so watch that 17 break on this one. JAGX getting some volume the last few days on JAGX, but over that $1.50, $1.55 area, we have a declining 50 moving average. The 50 moving average currently on this name is at $1.78. It did a recent 1 for 70 reverse split back in June, so if this one starts turning the corner, could make a big move. Starbucks was down this week, but LK, a recent coffee IPO from out of China, the Starbucks of China, holding back above the 50 SMA, so I'll be watching that. MCF, big move up, big volume on Friday on MCF. Keep an eye on that. MDCA also popping on 1.2 million shares. If this can take out maybe that 270, 275 spot, keep it on watch. For that one. MNK, as mentioned earlier, had positive news. 17.2 million shares, has that $4 area, the up ahead. The high on this was 365. What else do we have? SINT was popping on Friday, so I'll be watching this one. A lot of fits and starts in this name, but can give some nice intraday trades. TRNX holding okay. Recent 1 for 5 reverse split splitter back at August 26th. Trying to turn the corner here, trying hard, maybe over that 2.25 spot. As you can see on my intraday chart, 225 has been kind of a resistance area. What else do we have? RUHN made a big move the last few days, pulled back inside day on Friday. Maybe it needs to rest a little bit, consolidate, but keep that one on your watch. It's a China name. TTOO. Making a big move up through the 200 SMA, has that $3 area up ahead. Keep this one on your watch. Let's see what else. If you don't like TVIX, keep your eye on UVXY, depending on what kind of market we get. If the markets get volatile, you'll see TVIX and UVXY popping intraday. VTVT, still in the hunt here on this name. 500,000 shares came into it. A lot of pops and pullbacks, but it held above the $1.60 area. If they can get it back over the highs on Friday on this name, $1.67, could be interesting. Had some insider purchases there on that one. YUMA now, if oil is going to be moving up on Monday, right, you could see a nice move. Volume has been coming into YUMA. Keep it on watch over that 350 area for YUMA. And then lastly, ZYNE on the daily chart has been holding up. Would like to see volume increase a little bit. The high on Friday, maybe possible swing trade in this. I would like it to get up over this 1250 area to get interesting for a swing trade. All right, this is Mike. This is your Let's Get Ready for the Week Ahead and your stock watch list in a combo video in less than 25 minutes. Hit that like button down below. Hit the subscribe button below. Please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. And have a great weekend. Have a good day trading tomorrow. We'll be back at it Monday night with another video. Have a good day trading for Monday.